for any activity along with decision making. Planning is a stem for all the activities which we do in a individual level as well as in a organization level. So decision making, we take many right decision, wrong decisions, or no decisions sometimes, and we end up with so many consequences and which we cannot come out of it. Some mistakes are for lifetimes. So some mistakes cannot be corrected. So whether it is a good or bad or ugly, we have to make a decision every day. The primary job of a manager or a head of an organization or head of a family is to make decisions. So individually also we take many decisions to take up the career, personal life, life partner, or business partner, or the employment, or wealth creation, health creation. All this require a decision. So let's see what is a decision and how we go about it, and what are the different kinds of a decision we take as an individual and in the employee, different roles and responsibilities we handle. So decision making is not easy because of changing factors, sometimes unclear information, and individually there may not be any conflicts, but when we take group decisions, there will be conflicting point of view. When two or more people involved, that is called group decisions. So the impact will be higher, and the consequences will be, yeah, you should be ready to take up the consequences. So conflicting point of view, when two or more people come together, there will be a conflict because of the opinions they have, the views that they have. Kindly mute. So kindly all of you mute. Yeah. So in the last session also, in the planning, we discussed 80% of the jobs will be done by the 20% of the people. So 20% will be done by 80% of the people. In this point of time, taking decision in a group will be very difficult because some are not involved at all, some are involved seriously, some are real stakeholders, some are just on records. So this is very essential to consider in the organization point of view. So let's discuss what is a decision. What is a decision? Decision is a choice made from the available alternatives. So we have many things. Out of that, one one only we can follow, or one thing at a time. We cannot do all the things all the time. So choosing one out of the available alternatives is a decision. The process is called decision making. Process is step by step. How do we take a decision is a process. So the decision making is a process of identifying the problems and opportunities and resolving them. Everything starts with a problem. You're identifying the problem is, yeah, very important. So identifying the problem and opportunities and resolving them is decision making. How do you choose one among the available alternatives is a decision making. So many decisions that managers deal with every day involve at least some degree of uncertainty and require non-program decision making. May be difficult to make sometimes, made amid of changing factors. Information may be unclear. Yeah, we see this. See the helmet rules. The last government removed that. This government has put that for the the pavilion radar also. So all this for both the riders has to wear the helmet. Next government comes and removes that. The changing factors. So it has an impact on the rider as well as the industry which is manufacturing the helmets, as well as the regulations and the safety of the riders, as well as the manufacturers of the helmet, as well as the buyers. So there are so many people involved, and amid of changing factor, the decision making will be difficult, and there will be conflict of opinions. So information may be unclear. Some information may be unclear because human brain, no, we have limitation. Yeah, we don't remember everything. We don't get yeah, there is a limited space in our yeah, brain. So too much of information, there may be unclear about what decision to take, and sometimes we cannot identify the problem or the goal we are heading. We have to deal with the conflicting point where there are people involved. So perfect decisions are few and far. It may be family, career, spirituality. It may be yeah, love life or a community or health. Yeah, some decisions are for permanent. Yeah, some can be changed. Some may not be changed, and it will be at the cost of a life, cost of a job. So decision is always possible. However, great decision do not always have a fairy tale ending. Some may have a bad ending or a yeah, tragedy, but they do achieve the best possible outcome under some circumstances, which for doing good now may not do good in the later because of the changes which takes place. So quality of a decision maker, sometimes intuition and action. Yeah, it may be through the experience or the gut feeling or the knowledge you have acquired or the yeah, people around you may influence the decision. Being empathetic, standing in the shoes of others, yeah, knowing the other person's views and opinions and the conditions is there are the situation is in, all these are being empathetic. And analytical skills and knowledge, the ability to use logic to examine and measure a problem. See your the some formulas being used to make a decision in a logical way. Yeah, where you have a shortage of resources. And during the world wars, during any war for that matter, you have a limited food, limited yeah, resources, limited money, limited yeah, equipments, all machineries. All these are, you have to use see the quantitative techniques are used to deliver the resources, the analytical skills and knowledge to gauge the distance, yeah, to gauge the speed at you should go. Say in a airport in Bangalore International Airport, there may be every day 600 flights like taking off. All this required analytical skills and knowledge. There will be a software which tells yeah, how much all this software sent yeah,
Madam, your voice
not
is
help them
breaking.
the pilot. Yeah, there was, so the decisions may, am I clear now? So the decisions may use some technology. Is it clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, if it is not audible, please let me know. And the decision maker has some qualities which will be yeah, useful at the larger section of the society. And being honest, accept the responsibility. Sometimes in our workplace we don't accept the responsibility. 80-20 rules applies here. Yeah, sometimes time management is essential for both the planning and the decision making. Right decision at the right time is very essential, otherwise it is of no use. So making a decision at the right time is very essential, otherwise that decision may not be applicable at that point of time. So have confidence in making the decision. All these are the things you need to consider as some good qualities, skills needed for a decision maker. So decision makers, yeah, to achieve the goals and to avoid the mistakes. There are two challenges here. To achieve the goals, you have to take the right decisions at the right time. Yeah, no one makes the right decision every time, but by developing your decision making skills, you can increase your success rate. It is there will be human error always due to the stress factor, due to the personal commitment, personal challenges we have, the weaknesses we have. We may not be good enough to take good decisions all the time. Whatever right decision now may not hold good in some occasion or some situation or tomorrow. Yeah, sometime the decision which I've taken was good now may not be good for others. Whatever good for us may not be good for others. So to achieve your goals, you need to take the right decisions at the right time and to minimize the mistakes or to avoid the mistakes. It will increase the rate of success and minimize the rate of failures. So that is very essential in a and categories of decision. What are different types of decisions you have? Programmed decision and non-programmed decisions. Programmed are the one which is also called as structured decisions. Every day you do the routine jobs. That is programmed. See, we are programmed like a robot. Like a robot, we do every day everything same. That is programmed decision. Yeah, in your computer, if there is a help, Windows help, that will give you the instructions, how to create a PPT, how to create Excel sheet, all this, that's a programmed help manual. That is called, even we are doing the routine jobs every day. That is called program decisions. Situation occurred often enable us to take the decision, that can be applied in future, made in response to recurring organizational problem. It may be for the individual problem as well. Recurring problems and everyday routine jobs requires program decisions. Everyday timetable, going to the class, meeting, or delivering, all this, examination, assessment, all these are the routine programmed decision. Non-programmed decision, it is once in a time, not unstructured decision, not everyday's job. Some programs in your university or in your colleges or non-program decision where management decides to do, or the statutory officers decides to do. All these are they have a poorly defined and largely unstructured, have an important consequences to the organization. So non-program decisions are one. Kindly mute. So the non-program decisions and program decisions will be taken. So whenever we take the decision, there will be a pendulum, which goes with certainty to uncertainty and risk and ambiguity. These are the four different situations we come across when we make the decisions. Certainty, where everything is certain, all the information available, and everything, decision making is easy at this point of time because everything is certain. Opposite of it is uncertainty, where managers know what goals to achieve, but information is poor, incomplete. So managers may have to come up with the creative approaches and generate the alternatives in uncertainty. certainty and uncertainty as opposite to each other. Risk and ambiguity. Risk. What is risk? Failure is more because there may be some future outcome which are associated, and decision as a clear-cut goal, good information is available, future outcome associated with the chance. It is a matter of chance here. If it rains, it may be good. If it is not rain in that region, you may not have a food, or if there is a function, if there is rain, it is bad. If there is no rain, it is good. So it is subject to the situation and a chance. So the risk of getting spoiled, risk of delaying, risk of postponing, risk of people coming in time. All these are a future outcome associated with the decision. Ambiguity. Your most difficult decision situation is this one, where information and outcomes are unavailable. You don't know what you are doing. Ambiguity. There is a dilemma. Yeah, there is an ambiguity. You don't know what you are doing. Very difficult to define. So the goals has to be achieved, or a problem to be solved are unclear. Alternatives are difficult to define. All these are the things in a ambiguity. So these are the 4 different levels in a decision making: certainty, uncertainty, risk, ambiguity. So next, moving on this, see, this is the pendulum. Conditions that affect possibility of decision failure. When it fails, when there is a certainty, the risk of failure is low. As you go towards ambiguity, the risk of failure will be higher because you don't know what the goal is, what the problem itself. So the program decisions, it is for the certainty, non-program decisions for the uncertainty and ambiguity. So there is a problem, the solutions will be drawn based on program decisions and the non-program decision. Out of these 4 circumstances or conditions where risk of failure is low in certainty, because everything is known, everything is clear, everyday routine job. It's like eating, sleeping, getting up, going, like that. It is very routine. But as you go towards that pendulum, you have risk, uncertainty, ambiguity, where the risk of failure will be higher. So types of decision. Satisficing is the, out of the 5 things, if it is satisfying one thing, you will take up that particular decision. So you don't have to satisfy everything. If it is satisfying some of the things, then you will go with that particular decision, as rule says, as procedure says, as senior says. You will do with that. So intuition or sixth sense. Sometimes intuition works. You don't have any knowledge, still you says that my sixth sense says that it will work. Yeah, many things. Maybe finding a life partner, maybe finding a business partner, or you say that he'll cheat you, and that is intuition. Intuition is something, the inner sense. There is no logic for this. That is just a feeling. You feel that, there for you, or one for the lifetime, or are not good. This is the sixth sense or intuition. People say love at first sight. That is intuition. It may work or not work, that is secondary. But they feel at that particular time that, in Hollywood movies or Kannada movies, every shows this is called your gut takes.
Ma'am, your voice is not heard, not audible.
It is
Not audible.
takes here. Can you see the slide?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Heuristics is rule of thumb. Rule of thumb is your seniors are doing it and you do it. Your parents are doing it, so you do it. There is no other logic or anything. Because they are doing it and we continue to do that. See, there is a story on this. The father, there was a man who was living with the wife and the children, with a child. So the wife passed away. He has to take care of the child. There was no one at home, but there was a cat. They were living with a cat, and every time when the father used to do puja, the cat used to go to the kitchen and drink the milk. So what the father did was, he used to tie that cat in front of the puja room and to perform the puja, all the procedure. The child used to see this, and the child thought that, yeah, whenever you have to do some religious work or the puja, you have to get the cat and make the other things. So once upon a time, the father passed away. This child becomes head of the family. There were no cats. Still, you used to go to the other houses and to get the cat, tie in front of the puja room and to do the puja because his father was doing it. When his father was doing it, there was a reason. There was no mother and there was no one at home. The child was small and this was disturbing every time and used to drink milk in the kitchen. So to avoid that problem, the father used to tie the cat in front of the puja room and to do in front of him. But this kid, it perceived it wrongly and father did not tell him also, and it continued as a tradition and as a part of the culture. And even though there was no cat, the boy thought that you should bring a cat before performing the puja. This is without questioning anything to the seniors. You continue to do that because students, the first year student says that the final year are doing this and we are doing it. We say that our senior teachers are doing it, so we are doing it. We skip, it may be good or bad things. So we take it as a rule of thumb. No other logic for this. As seniors are doing it, we continue to do it, even though it is bad or not appropriate at that particular time. We continue to do that. It may become tradition later on or culture later on or whatever. But that is called heuristics. It is also one type of decision. We continue to do that, and that is called heuristics. Taking no decision is also a decision. Taking no decision is also a decision. Sometimes we say we will be mum. We don't talk, keeping quiet. Yeah, and taking no decision is also a decision. The politicians, in that 5 years they have an agenda, but in that 5 years they will not take that decision. They will be mum. So delaying the decision, it is also with the politicians. They say in their agenda that they'll do this, they'll create employment, they'll do this, that. But delaying the decision is also a decision. There may be many pressure, there may be many other priorities. So we keep on delaying. We'll say, even in our personal life, we postponing things. It may be the marriage decision or employment decision, going abroad decision, settling down decision with the children, children education or children marriage. We postpone many things. That is a decision. Delaying a decision is also a decision. So emotional decision. Some emotional decisions have that make a permanent decision based on a temporary emotions. Some make a permanent decision based on a temporary emotions. They may have that emotions, maybe love, anger, yeah, or enmity. All these are things you may have temporarily at that particular time. Yeah, you have examples of mother killing the child or the father killing the honor killing just because he or she married some other caste girl or boy, you kill the child. Yeah, that is because of the temporary emotion you take a permanent decisions, and later you regret, but it is of no use. So emotional control is very essential here. Some emotions, yeah, may lead to a dangerous situations. We cannot control anger. We cannot control love. We cannot control. Yeah, there are many things which have happened. Yeah, many bad things which have happened, and people remember bad things than the good one. And these are all emotional decision, biased to our community, our religion, caste, or gender, family. These are because of the emotional decision. So we make mistakes. It may be with the students, with the colleagues, yeah, with the other stakeholders. We make many mistakes because of the emotional decisions sometimes, and we will be biased towards it. Some permanent decisions based on temporary emotions can some cannot be corrected. Rational decision making. So because of all these limitations in the above decision making styles, we come up with a rational decision making based on reason and logic. That is very essential in any organization. Maybe facts and figures, yeah, there may be a reason and logical approach to a decision. Yeah, that is very essential in a organizational decision making or an individual decision making sometimes. Yeah, even in a personal decision making, being rational is, yeah, very essential. When you make a decision, you think of good and bad, analyze, take decision. That is being logical. That is being reasonable. Yeah, reasonable, and reasoning is very important. So you think of a consequences. What will happen if I do this? Yeah, who will say? Sometimes we don't take decision by worrying about others. That is not rational decision making. If you are right, if the people don't agree, if it is correct, then you should take decision even irrespective of people agree it or not, whatever people say. That is called rational decision making. Even 90% majority did not like you, though you are right. Yeah, everything is correct, you should go with the correct decision, not with the people's decision here. Yeah, not with the people views, though you are right. So all these are essential, and most successful decision makers don't act on impulse, intuition, or not even on experience alone. If parents says, yeah, we have seen life. Some seniors in our workplace say, yeah, my experience is more than your age. Yeah, there are people who have told this. Yeah, our experience is more than your age, so you should listen to us. No, that then the situation was different. Now it is different. You may be more experienced in this situation than them who are older generation. So it will not work all the time. Impulse, intuition, or even experience alone will not work in many decision making. So they have a system that you have to go by step. That is called decision making. So in a minute you cannot take a decision. There are some complication. So decision making process has to be followed in many of the organizational decision making. So it starts with the recognition of the problem. Recognition of the problem. Sometimes we don't know what the problem we are facing. There may be very symptoms. Yeah, fever is not a disease. Fever is just a symptom. So based on fever, we just take Dolo, we just take paracetamol, but it is not the disease. It is just a symptom. There may be many disease which is associated with the stomach, which is associated with other parts of the body that need to be diagnosed. So the problem defined clearly is off solved. Problem defined clearly is off solved. If you don't know the problem, you cannot solve it. So the first thing is all W and H need to be answered. Who, what, when, why, yeah, how. This need to be answered. And why is the decision necessary? What is the objectives? Not for all the decision, but the major decision need to go through all these steps. Not all the decisions will go through this. Some may be urgent. There your intuition or experience may work. But the complex decision making, you have to follow this process where you need to go through the steps and procedure. So problem defined clearly is off solved. Now you know the problem. I said I gave an example of fever. Fever is just a symptom. The diagnosis has to be done. What part of the body is affected? What is the infection? What is that? So they'll ask you to, if you go to a doctor and tell the symptoms, they'll ask you to go to the diagnosis. So they'll ask you to visit the diagnostic center and to do the blood test, ECG, TMT, all this urine test, all this are the diagnosis to see which element in your body is dangerous or average, what is low, what is high. All this you will come to know once you diagnose. Diagnose is analyze the underlying causal factor associated with the decision making. So make a conscious effort to see the situation as an opportunity rather than a problem. So diagnosis is very important to see where it went wrong and what is to be done. So all this to be answered. All W and H which are related to the decision. What is the state of disequilibrium affecting us? When did it occur? Where did it occur? How did it occur? Questioning ability is more important. Otherwise, heuristics only you can follow. If you don't have questioning ability, you just follow what majority have followed or what seniors have done. If you have questioning and a creative mindset, then only you will have these questions. So questioning ability is very important for a mind where you have a scientific temperament and logical and reasoning temperament. Otherwise, you cannot make a rational decisions. So list the option. Now you are generating the alternatives. What are the things I can do? Options. The more alternatives you consider, the more likely you will be not overlook the best solution. So you generate alternatives. How do you generate alternatives? What are the modes of generating alternatives? You need to gather information. How do you generate alternatives? Gather information about the options. Which course to take up? Students have a problem now. How do I take up higher studies? Which course to take up? Whether to study in India, study abroad, study online. Today online education everywhere. Or work or study, or only study, or only work. How do you do this? Your economic factor, your social factor, and then your marks, your future vision. There are so many things. Gather information about all your option. You will get to make it. It applies to our employment as well. And to see the everything need to be analyzed properly. If it is a group decision, you will have a brainstorming session here. Brainstorming where maybe around 10 to 12 people sit together and to give their and everything to be taken down and to thoroughly discussed and come to the consensus and be objective. Here, while you generate the alternatives, you may come across two errors here. Yeah, you go with the wrong, or you may go with the, I think that slide is not there. You may go with the wrong decision, or you may drop the right one. There are two errors which you may come across when you take picking the best alternatives. You have gathered so many information and you have generated alternatives, but here you may make a mistakes. See here, yeah, selection of, you have developed the alternatives in the third one, selection of desired alternatives, fourth one, you may make a mistake of dropping the good one or go with the wrong one. This is called go error or drop error. So going with the wrong one and to go to the next step, implementing, and you, yeah, finally at the evaluation you will come to know that you have done a wrong, or dropping the best one. Yeah, we have dropped the best one and gone with the something else and implemented that, and in the evaluation we'll come to know we have dropped the best one, but we cannot do anything. So these are the errors which may come across in the selection of desired alternatives. Next is to implement the alternative. Implementing, you go ahead and take up the, yeah, go ahead and take up the alternatives. Here you write down the pros and cons of each option, see how they, yeah, and then go with that, and then implementing, yeah, be true to yourself and do any alternative compromise on your value, so scratch it out. Don't, yeah, your ambitions may take you anywhere, but don't make your ambitions to compromise on your values by the decisions which you take. So personal value system is essential, and go with your values, and finally you make a decision, and then to evaluate. At the end, you have to evaluate the decision and to see feedback. If it is not good, then you have spent so much of hours, yeah, years wasted, and still be optimistic that you will be good in future and change the decision. Or if the decision is good, go with the decision. No need to regret. Then yeah, you can have a future decision accordingly. So these are the 6 steps in decision making: identifying the problem, and then diagnosing the problem, generating alternatives, choosing the best alternatives, and then implementing the one which you have chosen, and finally evaluation and feedback. So moving on, there are many styles of decisions. So the difference among people with respect to how they perceive the problem and make decision, they have different styles of decision: directive style, analytical style, conceptual style, and behavioral style. Some are autocratic, some are democratic leaders. All cannot be democratic. And India is the largest democratic country. Still, we have autocratic leaders inside the democracy. Yeah, and some may not agree, or some may not be visible. These are the things which are there in the different decision styles: directive style, analytical style, and then conceptual style and behavioral style. So each one, if you go through that, directive style is fast, simple, as the name itself, yeah, clear-cut solution to the problem. Make decision quickly, may consider only one or two alternatives, efficient and rational, prefer rules and procedure. When you follow rules and procedure, it will be easy because everything is in the book of rules and procedure. Everything is government KCSR rules, government rules and regulation. Everything is there only. So your problem is solved through the rules and procedures. You don't have to think. So it makes the decision making easy and fast and analytical. Complex solutions based on the data you gather. It may be competitors analysis or the customers analysis. The need may change frequently. Product analysis, the company or the socio-economic status analysis. All these are the complex thing where you need to gather data, the population survey, and socio-economic survey. All this you need to get more data and to take a decision. So carefully consider alternatives. It is always conflicting because there are so many people involved, and though the decision is based on the data, there are social approach, political approach which may control this. Based on the decision, objective, rational data, our recent the population survey or education socio-economic status survey, these are all the things you cannot take a decision fast. So based on decision and objective, the rational data from the which you gather need to be analyzed to give a best possible decision based on the information available. So conceptual style as a whole India, as a whole world. So it's a broad amount of information needed as a whole organization. You have to take more socially oriented than analytical style here. Like to talk to others about the problem and possible solution. Consider many broad alternatives. Rely on information from people and system. Solve problem creatively. The conceptual style. This is called when you take everything into consideration. Not only the personal, not only your team, not only your organization. Everything is considered. All the stakeholders are considered. That is called conceptual style. Next is behavioral style. Have a deep concern for other individual also. Like to talk to people. It is empathetic. Being empathetic. Considers others' views and opinions. Understand it's more of feelings and concerned with personal development of others. May make a decision to help others to achieve their goals. It is not only thinking about profitability or a benefit. It is to consider inclusiveness. Consider others also along with you, grow along with others. It is not only me. Let the entire team grow. Entire the people along with you grow. That is the behavioral style of leadership. So diagnostic questions for this thing, making a decision. How significant is a decision? How important? Not all decisions need this thorough investigation. There may be routine decision. There may be a tactical decision. There may be strategic decisions. Not all need diagnostics. How important is subordinate commitment? What is the level of leader expertise? Leader is the one who has a followers. If no one follows you, you cannot be called as a leader. So the expertise, how do you called as a leader? There may be through your knowledge you can become a leader. Through your position you can become a leader. By your charismatic leadership, the people who have not seen them also become followers. Many people who are born before we are born and passed away, they are leaders today because of their level of expertise, level of understanding, concern towards the society. All that makes them the better leaders. If leaders were there to make a decision alone, at what level would subordinates be committed to the decision? What level is subordinate supports team? What is members level knowledge and expertise? You should also consider your team members expertise, how skilled or committed the group members and working together. So the bad decisions, what are bad decisions? There may be lost, confused, unsure, unclear, disoriented, bewildered, perplexed. All these are the bad decisions. Have unrealistic expectations, make a snap decision, take unnecessary action, or fool themselves. So the bad decisions are the one where you are not intent to reach the destined results. So some results may involve other people along with you, or some may individually go wrong. So this may lead to the stress, again bad planning, and again the depression, or people may lose interest in this process itself. Yeah, they'll say, I will take life as it comes, I will not plan, I will not make any decision. Withdrawal syndromes. Yeah, all these are withdrawal syndromes because nothing is working for them. They're not good at it. So that results in a bad decision and the change in the individual characters also. So Edward de Bono is the one who came up with the techniques in the creativity in decision making. Decision making, it requires creativity. Creativity is ability to think differently, and you are capable of making decisions with a different way. There is a saying of Shivkera, the management thinker, don't do different things, do things differently. Yeah, don't do too many things. You do whatever you're doing differently than others. That is creativity. You are creative, you are making decision. Edward de Bono is the one who came out with different techniques of creativity in decision making. Out of the box thinking, lateral thinking, parallel thinking, six thinking ads, or these are the techniques of Edward de Bono. There are many books available for about this thinking styles. So out of the box thinking, we are limiting ourselves within the box, within the problem, not exploring outside options. We are only constrained, limiting ourselves, obsessed with the opinion, and we are only thinking within the certain four walls of the organization, four walls of the home. Yeah, we are not exploring the out of the box thinking. Lateral thinking, parallel thinking. Laterally, you may get many solutions for a problem. Parallel thinking is also one of the technique where you get the different options or creative way of solving the problem. In many mathematical problem, they'll ask you to put the line or put the dots. You don't cross that border thinking that you ought to be there. That is that will not give you the solution. So the lateral thinking, parallel thinking, out of the box thinking are essential. The six thinking hats there are many hats which represents this. If you can see this diagram, there is a blue hat which represents process, white hat which represents facts, red hat which represents feelings, green hat which represents creativity, yellow hat which represents benefit, black hat which represents cautions. Yeah, cautions are more important because if you cross them, you cannot come back in many times. So all these are to be considered when you make a decision. So group decision making. In a group decision making, I told you, individually it is easy because though we will have intra dilemma, intra conflict within us, our mind and heart may say something. Heart says something and mind says something. That is intra-personal. Inter is between the two people, or where decision making is called group decision making. Brainstorming, where you have 10 to 12 people, the problem is thrown at them. They'll come up with their opinion. Each opinion will be taken down and write down all the opinion, irrespective of whether it is, however silly it is. You take down, yeah, all the members' opinion, and each by one you thoroughly discuss and remove, yeah, the unwanted alternatives, and finally you come to a consensus with the best available alternatives. So that is called brainstorming. You storm the brain so much, yeah, group discussions will happen, and then you come to the conclusion. All these are the part of the brainstorming session. Next is Delphi technique, panel of experts. You see in TV9 or any TV channel, there will be, yeah, panel of experts. They call all the party people, all the, yeah, the problem is thrown at them. They'll take all nonsense. All this is, yeah, the disadvantage of panel experts, but that is also a democratic way of approaching the problem. Delphi technique, panel of experts discussion, and you will come to the consensus. So devil's advocate. Devil's advocate, see, you know the story of Birbal and Akbar, and Tenali Ramakrishna and Krishna Devaraya. These are all the great stories with morals. The king itself used to appoint a person who's called devil's advocate. You take up Prime Minister of India or the President of USA. They will appoint a person as a devil's advocate. His job is to criticize the decisions taken by the king or the prime minister or the president. They are appointed by them only. They will, yeah, his job is to criticize the opinions or the decisions. Before making it public, they will ask the opinion of devil's advocate about the decision. So if you have seen Birbal and Akbar, Birbal is far intelligent than Akbar. Tenali Ramakrishna was far intelligent than the Krishna Devaraya. They had the liberty to criticize, tease, yeah, make fun of the king. So king never used to get yeah, offended, because they were there to correct him. They are there to tell them the circumstances or consequences of the decisions they take. So they were appointed by the king to criticize and to tell them the consequences of the decisions before they make it final. So that's called devil's advocate. There was a show in coming up, the topper show called Devil's Advocate in a TV also. Their job was to criticize government, yeah, policies and rules, or to advocate something. The head of a country, head of the nation appoints, or head of an organization appoints somebody whom they trust, whom they think is intelligent, and yeah, who thinks for the betterment of the country or the society or the organization. They'll appoint him as a devil's advocate. His job is to criticize the decision made by the king or the head of our organization or the country. So multiple advocacy. Yeah, see, we take opinions from too many people here. Multiple advocacy. We'll ask one friend. Next, we'll call up and ask other friend. Yeah, she's telling this, and what do I do? You ask your father first. You ask your mother. You ask your siblings. You continue to ask you before you take any decision. Say you go to Apollo Hospital, it is saying that you have a chest pain. They'll say urgent open heart surgery should be done. You are so tensed and you go to the Columbia Asia or Narayana Rudalaya and take other doctor's opinion. That is called multiple advocacy. Yeah, we don't take a single person's or a single expert's opinion here. We keep asking others. So then you come to a decision finally, whether to go with this or not. That decision will be taken later on. So, but you take multiple advocacy, you go to, one lawyer here and another lawyer somewhere. That is multiple advocacy. Multiple advocacy. Yeah, kindly mute Ajay Kumar.
और आज क्या स्थिति दुर्दशा है ये देख रहे हैं हम रहते थे।
So the advantages and disadvantages of group decision making. Great pool of knowledge, different perspective, and then you may have a greater comprehension, increased acceptance. Everyone are agreeing, so you have an increased acceptance. Training ground can test. But disadvantages may be social pressure, minority domination, log rolling, or goal displacement, or group thinking. Here you have conflicts. You have told your decision to somebody and everyone will have their opinions. Too many cooks will spoil the cooking. So that is applicable here, and you cannot take a decision easily. It will be delayed. Sometimes no decision, delayed decisions, all will be a disadvantages of the group decision making. But when you take a consensus of everyone, you are safe and everyone will answer for you, and you will be respected because you have considered everyone in the society and everyone's views are considered. So in a democratic country like us, we prefer group decision making. That is the reason so much debate happens in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and before any decisions are taken, they take opinions, views, complaints, answers, all this. And all this are because of the group decision making which we do in a democratic country like us. So the final comments: be open to change if circumstances change. See, change is a permanent thing. Be open. Don't stick to one style of decision making or one view. Don't be prejudiced with your opinion. Be open to listen to others. Don't be biased. And we should not be prejudiced with the person or the situation. So it should be like a boat and rudder effect. Yeah, you should start act on it, and better options may come sometimes. Yeah, it is called the rudder effect. So you have to keep it moving, and you may change it when you need it, if you really need it, or that there is a real changes in the internal and external environment, or individually decision can be changed. There is nothing like one decision for the lifetime. Whatever the best decision today may change in future. Now because of the time consequences and the circumstances, we have taken this decision, but it may not be applicable in when people change, time changes, or situation changes. So based on the situation, we need to take the right decision. Otherwise it will be biased. New decision approaches to turbulent times. In a changing time, the brainstorming, everywhere they do this, all the IT, BT, and any company you take up, the brainstorming will be there. And engage a rigorous debate. Democratic organizations will have a rigorous debate. If you take up some issues around you, some religious issues, some I don't want to mention that, but some religious issues have taken rigorous debate now, even now, in light of Dasara. Learn, learn from the mistakes, learn from experiences, learn from the failures. These are all teachers. Yeah, it is not only the books, it is also from the people, it is also from the mistakes, it is also from the experiences, it is also from failures. We learn many things and know when to bail, when to leave, when to stop, when to stop or delaying, when to postponing. Practice W's and H. Why, when, where, who, how. This need to be answered frequently because it will be changing frequently and you need to answer that. And moving on, there are case studies which I have listed here. See, the decisions of a government on the citizens. There was a cobra effect in Delhi in British government. See, this I'll narrate it like a story. There were so many cobras everywhere. Yeah, snakes. After British government, when British government was there were so much of cobra everywhere near Delhi. So they wanted to kill the cobras. So they announced, they make a decision. Whoever gets the head of a cobra will get a gold coin. Yeah, they made an announcement. One head of a cobra will get you one gold coin. Equivalent. So the people in the city, first, when they announced this, they were true and they were finding cobras, by searching it. They used to kill the cobra and used to get that to the government and to get a gold coin. Really, they were searching the cobras and killing the cobras and to get it and submit it to the government. It's like a counter. They have opened the counter to dispose the gold coin and to get the head of a cobra. So people were in the beginning was very real. Without any cheating, they were finding the cobras. Whoever gets that, very small number used to get the cobra to the government and to take the gold coin. But later they became intelligent and they thought of growing cobras. There were many, like they grow chicken, no? Like that, they started growing cobras. They started getting them, hatching the eggs and making them, feeding them, and to get killed and to give it to the government and to get the there were many poultries which grow the uh, like a poultry, like there were so many cobra hatching centers. They used to grow cobras and to kill them. Each one used to submit 100,000 and to get the gold coin. Then government came to know that they were cheating the government and they have illegal developing centers of the cobra. Government came to know that. They went for a raiding all the centers, and this they announced there are no gold coins for anyone, because there is a illegal breeding of cobra. So they announced this in all the newspapers. All the rules were changed. Now whoever growing the cobras left all the cobras on the road because there was no gold coin. Are you getting me?
Yes, ma'am.
As there is no incentives, whoever breeding the cobras left all the cobras on the street. So the problem, instead of minimizing the problem, this decision of government made it worse. So the good intention may backfire from the incentives. Decisions makes things even worse. So this is what called cobra effect. They wanted to kill the cobra, so they came up with the rule, but the decision reversed their intention, and there were so many cobras everywhere and people suffered. It is same with Delhi air pollution case also. Yeah. To avoid pollution, government may ask one to drive one car 3 days only. Monday, alternate day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So other 3 days they cannot take the car. One car should be on the road to reduce pollution. They said you can drive your car only 3 days. But it reversed. People with money, they started buying 2 cars. One for Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Other for Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. So the pollution increased than coming down. So they end up buying one more car to commute. So there was no places for parking. The entire city was full of parking. Each home had 2-3 cars. Each person had 2-3 cars. Delhi is highly polluted city now. Instead of making it is less pollute, people started using more cars and made it more polluted city. So this decision has reversed. So all these are the decisions where intentions are different and it may end up in a wrong decision. I'll just give you this case study. You can think about it at home or later. Because of the time constraint, we have only 2 minutes here. I'll just narrate this story also. There is a train track. Yeah, the story given here is how decisions you take and how it will be helpful. There are 2 train tracks. One is working and one is not working. The working or used track is where more children are playing, and unused track is where one children is playing. Unused track, it's a waste track, and working track where more children are playing. So the group of children are playing near the working track. So the train came now. So where do you go now? What decisions you take? There are more children are in the working path, working track. There is only one kid on the unused track. So now the decision, how do you take the decision? Which track do you move? Or which one do you save? Those who did the mistake or those who is correct? See, the child which is playing in unused track is correct. And children which are playing on a used track are wrong. Yeah, it is an analogy. It can be applied to any problems, not only this train. Now you have to take a decision. Yeah. Now you pause and think what kind of decision we could make. However, the lone child playing by disused track would be sacrificed, or would you rather let go train to go its way? Or so this is a problem which will be given to you. Analyze the situation, think and reflect, decide your answer. You decide, take it later.